found a little quiet spot where I feel comfortable to film out in public. I'm still not used to like talking out loud to a phone. I don't know, it's just weird. But I made it. I'm in Sydney. I've been here for 3 days and so far I'm loving it. I mean, I'm still on holiday mode to be fair, so yeah. But my first impressions of Sydney, like when I landed, like everyone was super helpful, really friendly. Yeah, like I don't have any I haven't come across like one rude person. Watch me jinx it now. And the sun's shining. What is that? Oh, I thought it was a frog. It's like a bin bag. It's not a frog. So when I first landed, I sorted out my phone. I got a SIM card because I was like, I need data. I need to know like what I'm doing, where I'm going. You know, I need all my information. So I sorted all that out. Did that at the airport. Checked in at my hotel. I'm so glad that I booked a hotel right outside the airport. It's just so much easier. Like if you've gone on a long haul flight, don't bother taking all your luggage and carrying all your shit because you're tired, you're cranky. I mean, I surprisingly wasn't tired, but I have been on long haul flights where I've got ill, I've been super overtired, and I got so emotional. When I get overtired, I just cry, and like my brain just doesn't function properly. Like I feel like I'm on another planet, and yeah. So I was like, I don't want that stress. So yeah, I recommend just booking a hotel right outside the airport when you first land after like a long haul flight. Oh my god, there's loads of ants. There's an ant's nest. Oh well, I like this spot. So I made my way into Central, which was only 2 stops from the airport, which is amazing. Normally like most airports are like in the middle of absolute nowhere. So I headed in, I set up my bank account, and my bank account was surprisingly in the middle of Chinatown. Their Chinatown is huge. It kind of like spreads out all over the place, and even when I don't know if it like, because I went to like other parts and there was still like so many Asian restaurants or shops with like Asian cosmetics and things like that wasn't anywhere near the Chinatown. So I was like, maybe that's just Sydney itself, like they just have a lot more like Asian businesses. So that was really cool, and I was, you know, very in my element. The food was really good. On my first day, I actually bumped into 2 Lolitas. Well, actually one was in Lolita and one was in, I don't know, is it Kaiwai? Kai, I don't know. It's a new like Japanese fashion. It's like blue and white. Yeah, so I was like, it's so cool to like, there's actually a Lolita community here, because I tried to look online and I couldn't find anything. I sorted out my tax file number, which I can't start working without it, and apparently it takes 28 days. So essentially I'm going to be taking like a 28-day holiday while I'm here. Also sorted out my Medicare, which again takes 28 days, and you need, because it's in 28 days, you need to send them an address so they can send your card somewhere. But I'm like, I don't know where I'm going to be in 28 days. But luckily I know someone who I used to work with who lives in New South Wales. She's actually 2 hours away from Sydney, but I was like, it's fine, I'll come and pick them up, it's whatevs. So yeah, I will be staying in Sydney for like 28 days for the ease of like picking my things up. I've already been asking around about like jobs and things like that and just chatting with people. To be honest, I kind of just want to work like maybe part-time in retail and then maybe start doing my farm work. I've been warned not to do fruit picking, especially as a girl. Apparently it's run by a lot of like old men, and they make you wear like skimpy clothes just to pick fruit like in the middle of summer. And I was like, yeah, I don't really fancy doing that, thanks darling. So yeah, I also met some people at this like gaming exhibition thing. So after I originally went to this Chinese garden. It was really, really lovely in there. It was like $12 to get in. And I was like, oh, okay. After that closed at like 5 o'clock, I didn't know what to do. So I just asked the reception, like, are there any galleries around here? Like anything for free? There's a place called the Powerhouse, and they had like this games. It was like an LGBT gaming night thing. And I was like, okay, cool. So I headed there. And yeah, as I walked in, there was like people cosplaying, and I was like, I think I'm in the right place, darling. And there was someone dressed up as a fairy godmother from Shrek 2, and I was like, you look amazing. She just like did such a good job. So yeah, I got a photo of her. You forced me to do something I really don't want to do. The diet is ruined. C minor, darling, put it in C minor. So yeah, I was like wandering around. It was like students who had built games, and they were doing like demos and things. So yeah, I was playing some of their games. chatting with the people who'd like developed them. Someone did a cat game, so that was the first one I played. I was like, oh, I want to play a cat. And then there was like one guy who was cute, so I was like, I'll play his game. And yeah. I mean, to be honest, he probably was young now that I think about it, because if he was a student, maybe he was like 21. He was cute, alright. I just had a chat. And then someone else came up to me, and then that's when we got chatting about other areas to visit. So I was recommended to come to Newtown because there's lots of thrift shops and things like that, which is where I am now. But I don't know, like, it seems a little bit empty. I've like walked down the main high street part, but I don't know, it's I think I was kind of expecting something like Brick Lane, because it's like thrift shops, vegan cafes and things like that, and like street art. So I was like, oh, it sounds very Brick Lane-esque. And then she also said, oh, it's very much like Camden, but it's not really. It's quite empty, and there are a few vintage shops I went in, and they were okay. There was one shop that was actually really cool, and it was all like upcycled things, and I got chatting with the people in there, and then they recommended me lots of like drag nights as well that's in Newtown. Maybe I haven't explored enough, but because a lot of the side streets, they look residential or like empty, I'm not like drawn to go down them to see what else is there. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know if I've gone down the right bit. So yeah, there's a park here, and again, it's like very empty. It's actually really nice being in a city and there's like space and quiet, and you just don't get that in London, like, at all. Even the trains as well, there's just space, there's like room to move around. And even when I was in like the busy part where all like the big shops were, like, I guess the equivalent of like Oxford Street, I don't know, there's lots of like nooks and crannies, and then like it opens up into find like another market, and then it opens up into like a big mall, and then before you know it, you're like, oh, okay, I'm here now. And then yeah, it's just filled with like tons of Asian restaurants, but like really good ones. Even though there's like lots of people around, there's still space to move. Like, I never feel that someone's in my in my way. I'm a very impatient person, and I get really irritable in London if someone's like in front of me walking really slow, or someone stops in front of you, like, because it's just so crowded. You really need to know like what you're doing and where you're going, and if you don't, you need to move to the side out of people's way. But people don't do that. And I guess Australia has the space, right? It's 10 times the size of the UK, and also less populated than the UK. How mad is it that there is more people living in the UK than there are in the whole of Australia? I mean, it kind of makes sense, because obviously a lot of areas are very barren in Australia, or like not, you can't live in those areas. It kind of feels like home away from home, in the sense that a lot of the shops you go in is near enough all the same chocolate brands, all the same like cosmetic brands. They do have like their own, and then there's also lots of Asian ones in there too. Yeah, I don't know. And then because I was like panicking about some stuff, I was not panicking, but I was like, what if I can't find, I'm very like particular about what shampoo I use, and I want ones without like sulfates and silicones and shit in them. And I was like, what if they don't do this brand? But it's called Maui, and I think it's like a New Zealand brand. So I was like, oh, they should have it. They do. Like, I was like rushing to buy all this stuff. I get to buy like Korean cosmetics, like my makeup remover and all that. And I found it like everywhere, and I was like, oh, I really didn't need to panic buy and spend more on Amazon, did I? Yeah, also people have just been like really, really nice. This morning, I walked past this like Thai dessert place, and they had mango sticky rice. I absolutely love mango sticky rice. All the other stuff was like really big and more like for sharing. So I ordered the small portion of mango sticky rice, and the lady came to like take my food, and then she was like, oh, are you finished? I was like, oh yeah, thank you. And then she kind of like looked over at me like this and was like, you're really cute, and then just like walked, and then she was like, see ya. And I was like, oh, I don't know, it was just a nice start to the day. Like the first person I spoke to was just like really nice. Yeah. And there was also a lady who had her daughter in the back of her car, and she like wound her window down when I was waiting at the traffic lights. She's like, my daughter thinks you look really beautiful. I was like, ooh, thank you. And the people in my hostel also, like the people who run it, they're super chill and friendly, and kind of like you know, I guess that their job is to make people feel at ease, like when they're coming into a hostel. I am a little bit nervous about sharing a room because I do like, when I'm out, I do like to come home to like my own space and be on my own, because I like to play music. I like putting like, you know, YouTube on. I'm always listening to YouTube. And I don't know, I get really conscious of like being annoying to other people, and I also am very like aware of like what's around me. So when someone's being loud and annoying, like I can't not focus on it. Do you know what I mean? I also can't sleep if people make noise. So I'm like, I've bought earplugs, but I'm like, what if someone comes in at like 3 o'clock in the morning and they're like drunk? And you know, it's awkward to be like, can you not? I don't know, I've just never stayed in a hostel before, but who knows, maybe they will be really nice. I've walked past the communal area, but I've not like sat and chatted in there yet. I don't know, I just feel a little like, whoa, just feel a bit awkward. I saw a bin chicken the other day. I heard about them from Trash Taste because Grant and Connor, they went to Australia to visit like Joey and his family, and they were like, oh, what were those birds? We saw them, and we're like, what the fuck is that? And they put up a photo, and Joey was like, oh, they're bin chickens. That's not their actual name, but everyone calls them bin chickens. So yeah, when I walked past, I was like, oh, I saw a bin chicken. They're like, I'll show you a video of them. But yeah, they're like white birds with like a long snouty beak thing. I saw some lizards in the Chinese garden. Other than that, I've not really seen any other kind of wildlife. Seen lots of ants down here. Saw a pigeon. Nothing that's like different, I guess. There's a little birdhouse up here, but there's no birds in it. Tomorrow I'm going to be doing free yoga on the beach. I'm excited for that, but it's at 7:30 in the morning and it takes me an hour to get there. But it takes 20 minutes to drive, so I'm like, maybe I should just pay for an Uber and then get the train back, because I think that's just such a nice way to start your day. Yoga on the beach, and it's a free lesson. And I can actually talk to someone. I think she's like a traveller as well, so I can, yeah, I think it would be really nice. And then once the lesson's done, I might just lay on the beach all day. I don't really know what's in the area, but there'll be cafes and food and stuff. I think I just want to have a nice chill day. Monday I'm going to the Blue Mountains. I've been warned, apparently there's an area, I can't remember what it's called. It began with like a C. Saratoga? Something Toga. Oh, I don't know, I might be making it up. Apparently there's an area and it's nice, but apparently there's a cult there. So this person I was talking with was like, please be aware of the cult, don't join it. And I was like, I will make sure I don't join a cult, thank you for the warning. But yeah, Blue Mountains is about 2 hours from here, and I booked like a group trip, so it's like a coach takes you there. So yeah, who knows, maybe I will see some wildlife. Oh, there's a bird right here actually, black and white bird with a short little beak. I don't recognize what kind of bird it is, but I've not seen one like that in England. Oh my god, there's an ant on my thing. Get off! Right, I should move now because there's like an ant's nest here. Ew! Ah, it's crawling across my screen. It's really fast. Fuck off. Okay, right. Yeah, I'll update you at some other point, but yeah, bye.